This trip was supposed to be on all the back roads from home and then through the Gascoyne Murchison region with Gecko, our 3-year-old blue heeler. The rain and road closures changed our plans significantly along the way. The biggest change happened just 1 week into the 3-week trip. But let's start at the beginning. We wandered many small back roads from home, stopping to see the attractions we hadn't stopped at before, including this old building on the Goldfields Road. We camped the first night, with rain threatening us, at Murchison Rock. In the morning, we were still rain-free, so we popped the GoPro on Gecko and hiked up the rock.
You filming?
Do care.
It was quite cold, and the forecast for the day was for a decent amount of rain. So after finding the geocache we'd been hunting for, we headed back down the rock to pack up and move on. We had planned to take a back road from Murchison to Payne's Farm, but with the recent rains, the road was closed, and we headed to Dalwallinu and up the bitumen instead. It was of no surprise to find the next set of back roads also closed, and the predicted rain meant little chance of them opening any time soon. Taking this into account, we decided to skip the first 4 back roads on the plan, and we made camp at Lake Nallan, just north of Kew. We decided to reassess when we got to Meekatharra the next day. At Lake Nallan, we enjoyed an awesome sunset with a mild sprinkling of rain during the night. The morning brought with it a sunrise as awesome as the previous night's sunset. The forecast for Meekatharra surrounds was overcast, but no rain for at least a week, so we could finally head off the bitumen. Our main stop of the day was the Peak Hill ruins. Many of the old buildings still had enough walls standing to make them an interesting place to explore.
Beneath the bluffs and the staggering peaks, gather rain clouds so cold and so bleak. Every summit is smothered in snow, but she lives in the valley.
The only resident we saw was this large bungarra, and he did not intend to move out of our road in a hurry.
No, no, oh no, no.
We continued up the road to a riverside camp spot where Gecko had the best time playing in the water and rolling in the red dirt. For dinner we cooked apple, sage and pork stew. This recipe is an adaptation from a pie recipe, which is one of our favourites. We packed up early the next morning and continued our journey northwards. Our destination for the day was Nickel Springs. It didn't take us long to get there, and by early afternoon we were well set up with a roast in the camp oven. Gecko was happy he was able to sploosh in the waterhole here and that there was plenty of room to go on walks. We stayed here for 2 nights, just enjoying the quiet.
Silver dollars and champagne for the trouble. It's a look around when the walls start to fall. Good God, is anybody notice you? Sat at the table and you listen to a scream. I know we've had a few too many. I'm not sure what to believe. Beauty queens and rock and rollers, crystal glasses, Coca-Cola. Nice to meet you, nice to know you. Better have listened to all that they told you. They took notes and put you on a pedestal. I'm Simon, I'm on my knees. Why are you so quiet, darling?
It was a fantastic couple of days, but it was soon time to move on. Not far down the road, we found another waterhole, but it was obviously heavily used by cattle, so after a quick look around, we continued on our journey. We made camp alongside a dry creek bed in the early afternoon, and also discovered that one of our batteries was dead. We switched the dead one for the good one in our Tvan to hold us over till we could get to Carnarvon for a replacement. The overcast conditions were not helping with keeping the battery well charged, and without the extra battery we were struggling to keep our freezer happy. We had, at no time, planned on going to Carnarvon, but it seemed the most logical place to head for the battery, as we were going as far as Gascoyne Junction anyway. We woke to even more heavy cloud, and it felt like rain was coming. We stopped to fuel up at Mount Augustus, and I checked the forecast. Flood warnings for the whole region. A quick discussion followed on how we were down the battery and without sun couldn't sit on the side of the road waiting for the roads to reopen should we get caught between rivers. We decided to stay the night at Mount Augustus to see what the weather would do. The next day roads to the south were starting to close, so we agreed that we just needed to sit tight and wait for the front to pass. More rain then closed roads in all directions, and we were glad we had stopped at a powered site, with grass which Gecko was most impressed with. And although disappointed we couldn't get going, we were happy to sit and wait for the rain and the roads to clear. We spent 4 nights at Mount Augustus, washing clothes, cooking, and taking Gecko for walks. The staff were exceptional and made the forced stay easy and fun. Once the roads open, we made a run for Carnarvon, getting in there, finding a replacement battery, grabbing some fresh veggies, and back out over halfway to Gascoyne Junction by 4 p.m. the same day. Our campsite was a blue metal dump, and the bird sounds were amazing. We had planned to spend a few days fossicking for Mookite, but the rains, extra time spent waiting for the roads to open, and the now swollen Gascoyne River meant that we couldn't get into the available lease. We decided we would settle for a little more sightseeing instead.
Meet me at the water, calling from the lake. Get you, gooey. Nothing I will take. Meet me by the river, has to tread your waters. Get you, gooey. I won't forsake your daughter. My hands swell up, my smile runs out. It's been a while, it's been a drought, and I ain't done much that I ought. It's much too much to be fought. I try to reason with my body. There ain't no point in starving. I try to reason with the climate, but I am me and I ain't no giant.
It soon became apparent more rain was on the way, so it was time to give up on our Gascoyne Murchison wander and head to the wheatbelt. We stopped to check out Warramore Gorge, where we had camped a couple of years ago, and it was great to see the water flowing so well. We were happy to see the road we had wanted, had the road closed signs removed, and so we turned towards Kew. At one point we felt that maybe the open with caution could have been a little optimistic, but there were several tracks from vehicles that had gone through ahead of us, so we stayed in the middle of the road and had no problems getting through. We pushed on to where the road had been upgraded and shouldn't be so affected by the rain that was following us. We set up camp near a very full river for the night. The rain started as we were setting up, and it continued throughout the night. We put up the awning for shelter, and between showers we cooked Thai chicken meatballs for dinner. Our cauliflower was looking a little sad, so Gecko took care of it for us. After listening to the rain all night, we were happy to find the road quite unaffected by it. In fact, there was very little signs of rain at all by the time we reached Kew to refuel. After checking the forecast yet again, we decided to head for Dalgaranga Station. On the way, we did a quick drive around Walga Rock. We didn't get out for a walk as we'd been there a couple of times before, and also because I'd slipped over in the mud the previous evening and my ankle was swollen and sore.
Never been to California.
We arrived at Dalgaranga Station mid-afternoon. We spent the rest of the day exploring the rock and the old water catchment wall before setting up camp.
Been to LA, so I'll stay home and write these songs, pretend I'll make it someday. My friends are getting married, they're all settling down, so I'll lay here.
Wait there.
It's always gone too fast, like a trip to the beach or the life of James Dean, and it kills me to think I'm avoiding the pill I can't swallow. Seen my twin brother, I keep missing his calls. It's funny just
After a cold start to the day, we set off southbound. There wasn't much to stop and see in this stretch that was new for us, and we arrived at Coolanooka Springs in mid-afternoon. The next day found us wandering the wheatbelt. We stopped to check out a dingo rock, and Gecko seems to really enjoy exploring these large rocks. We ended the day at a campground called Oak Park. It was tricky to get into as there were caravans parked on the pull-in track, but once around them we headed to the back of the camping area and found a spot under the she oaks. We found a couple of geocaches before settling down in front of the fire for the evening. With our holiday drawing to an end, we travelled more small wheatbelt back roads and climbed yet another rock. We would finish the day camping at my parents' house. After spending one last day exploring a large rock, the holiday was over and it was time to go home.